Most people lose long before they ever step into the game, not because they're weak, not because they lack talent, and not because life is unfair. They lose because they talk too much. They open their mouths so wide that their dreams fall out and die before they even try. They talk about plans, goals, ideas, ambition, success, discipline, sacrifice, routine, and greatness like the world is waiting to clap for them. But the world does not care what you say. It only cares about what you do. Every minute you spend talking is a minute someone else is using to act, to execute, to build, to move forward. Words are cheap, actions are expensive, and most people are too broke to pay the price of action. Talking gives people a fake sense of accomplishment. It tricks them into feeling like they're moving forward when in reality they haven't moved an inch. They brag about what they will do next month, what business they will start, how they will change their life, or how they will work hard when the time is right. But winners don't need to say anything. Their results speak for them. Their success announces them. A winner walks into a room and doesn't need to tell anyone who they are. Success walks in before they do. That's the difference between people who talk and people who act. You don't get the respect for sounding motivated. You don't get results for talking like a winner. You don't earn anything by promising what you'll do someday. Life doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. You want to know why you keep losing. Because someone out there is working while you're talking. Someone out there is building while you're thinking. Someone out there is already doing what you're still planning. And while you keep announcing your goals, they're quietly achieving theirs. Silence scares weak people because silence means you're alone with your thoughts and you finally have to stop pretending and face the truth. You haven't done anything yet. Winners love silence because silence is where work begins, where execution happens, where results are born. The person who acts wins, not the one who speaks. So if you want to win, shut up and move. Let your energy go into doing, not talking. Stop telling people what you will accomplish and start showing them what you can build. The less you talk, the more you do. And the more you do, the less you need to talk. That is how the game is won. People love noise because noise makes them feel busy even when they're doing nothing. They confuse talking with working, planning with executing, dreaming with achieving. They gather in circles to impress each other with ideas that will never become reality. They call it networking, but it's just a bunch of people trying to convince each other they are future winners. Real winners don't have time for that. They're too busy moving, building, failing, fixing, improving, and growing. Talkers want applause before effort. Doers want results after struggle. Notice the difference between a loud loser and a quiet winner. The loud loser always has something to announce. I'll start next week. I'm working on something big. I'm going to be successful one day. They live in a constant future tense. Their best achievements are always coming soon, but never today. They talk like their dreams are guaranteed when they haven't even started working for them. Meanwhile, the quiet winner doesn't say a word. They work when no one is watching. They take steps nobody sees. They do the boring, painful, repetitive tasks others avoid. They win not because they're smart, not because they're lucky, but because they stayed silent and took action while everyone around them was talking. Talkers want recognition without results. They want respect without effort. They want success without sacrifice. But life doesn't work like that. Success is not a speech. It's a silent grind. You don't earn respect by announcing who you will become. You earn respect by becoming it. A talker tries to gain attention. A doer earns it. Winners understand something simple yet powerful. Action is louder than any speech, any caption, any promise, or any motivation. A single real result shuts down 1,000 empty words. When you achieve something, even something small, your achievement speaks for you louder than your voice ever could, and you don't need to explain yourself anymore. People notice. People respect. People follow results, not speeches. Silence has power because silence forces you to work. When you don't talk, you have nothing to hide behind. You can't pretend. You either do it or you don't. And once you start acting, talking becomes useless. Why waste breath describing a success you can build with action? Why talk about your future when you can create it? If you want to change your life, replace your words with work. Replace your plans with execution. Replace noise with effort. The person who talks too much loses because they lose time, focus, and momentum. The person who acts wins because they gain results, progress, and success. So be a doer, not a talker. Let your work speak and let silence be your strategy. Results don't need vocabulary, explanations, or commentary. They stand on their own. When you have proof, you never have to convince anyone. Your success does the talking for you. This is why quiet achievers hold more power than loud dreamers. Loud people try to win with promises. Silent people win with proof. You can argue with someone's opinion, but you can't argue with a result. One person might brag about being disciplined, but the person who shows up every day at 5 a.m. doesn't need to say a word. One person might claim they're working on a business, but the person who makes even one sale is already ahead. Noise tries to impress. Results make an impact. The world pays attention to outcomes, not intentions. It doesn't matter what you plan to do. It matters what you actually did. If you spend years announcing what you're going to achieve, you're only delaying the moment you must prove it. People forget your words, but they never forget your results, good or bad. And the truth is, most people don't respect you until you bring results to the table. They may cheer for you when you speak big, but deep down, they are waiting to see if you collapse or deliver. And most talkers collapse. Why? Because talking gives them the illusion of progress. It tricks their brain into feeling accomplished, even though they haven't moved an inch. Winners break this illusion by shutting up and taking action. They know that talking about goals drains the energy that should be used to achieve them. They know that big actions need small conversations. They don't post their plans. They don't announce their moves. They don't explain their sacrifices. They build in silence because silence protects their focus. Silence shields them from opinions, doubts, and distractions. When no one knows what you're doing, no one can judge or interrupt it. You are free to fail privately and grow without pressure. Then, when the result comes, it arrives like a blow to the face of every skeptic. Truth is simple. Talkers defend themselves with words. Doers defend themselves with outcomes. You don't need to respond to critics when your results destroy their arguments. You don't need validation when your success proves you were right. People can ignore your words, but they cannot ignore your accomplishments. Yeah. They can doubt your ideas, but they cannot deny your evidence. So stop seeking recognition through speech. Earn recognition through results. Don't try to convince the world. Build something that convinces them without a single word. Let your results be your voice, your defense, and your revenge. That is how doers win while talkers lose. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is discipline. And discipline is what separates winners from everyone else. People think silence means you don't have anything to say, but real silence is a deliberate choice to ignore distractions, to ignore drama, to ignore the need to impress, and to focus on execution. Weak people talk because they need attention to feel alive. Strong people stay silent because they don't need anyone to validate their existence. They are too busy becoming something worth noticing. Silence is not hiding. Silence is sharpening. Silence is building. Silence is training your mind to work without applause, without recognition, without noise. Most people are addicted to attention the same way others are addicted to drugs. They want likes, praise, followers, approval, applause. They want the world to constantly reassure them. But that addiction destroys focus. A person who needs attention can't handle pressure, can't accept failure, and can't make sacrifices because every sacrifice in real success happens quietly. You lose sleep quietly. You struggle quietly. You take risks quietly. You learn from failure quietly. There is no cheering section when you grind. The cheering comes after you win. Loud people can't survive that silence, so they talk to fill the emptiness. Winners survive the silence and use it as a weapon. Silence creates clarity. When there is no noise, you see who you are. You see your weaknesses, your excuses, your distractions. And when you face those honestly, you grow. Talking hides your flaws behind words. Silence exposes them and forces you to fix them. That is why strong people are quiet. They are busy improving. Loud people are busy pretending. Silence also protects your vision. The world is full of insecure people who will attack your dreams, not because your dreams are impossible, but because your dreams remind them of their laziness. The moment you speak about your goals, you invite their fear, their jealousy, their doubt, and their negativity into your life. Their opinions become obstacles. Their judgments slow you down. But when you move in silence, they don't know what to criticize. They don't know what you're building. They don't know what's coming. And when you show up with results, it's too late for them to stop you. Winners understand that silence is not empty. Silence is full of work. Silence is full of planning, execution, learning, fixing, failing, and rising again. Loud people want attention now. Quiet people earn respect later. And lasting respect is far more valuable than temporary applause. So stay silent, stay focused, stay disciplined, and let your success make the noise. Success doesn't reward opinions, it rewards execution. You can talk for hours about what you believe, what you think, and what you want, but nothing in life moves until you do. Reality doesn't respond to dreams, it responds to action. You don't get paid for what you wanted to do. You get paid for what you actually did. You don't change your life because you thought about it. You change your life because you worked on it. Some people love speaking about their plans so much that they forget to chase them. Others remain silent, move quietly, and let their results speak for them. The truth is, results scream louder than opinions ever will. Most people confuse knowledge with execution. They assume that knowing what to do is enough. They collect information, read books, watch videos, attend seminars, take notes, but never act on anything. They feel wise because they understand success, but understanding success doesn't make you successful. A broke man can know everything about business and still stay broke if he never applies anything. A weak person can know how to build strength and still stay weak if they never train. Intelligence without execution is useless. Talk without action is noise. Winners don't talk about what they know. They apply what they know. They don't brag about their plans. They follow through on their plans. They don't wait for perfect timing or perfect feelings. They act despite fear, discomfort, or risk. Winners understand that action creates clarity, movement, opportunity, and improvement. You learn more from one failure than from 100 conversations. You grow more from one small step than from 10 big speeches. Every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to reality and further away from fantasy. People love opinions because opinions are easy. They require no effort, no risk, no sacrifice. You can argue, debate, and criticize without doing a single thing. People waste their energy judging others instead of building themselves. They comment on how someone should live, how someone should improve, how someone should succeed, yet they never apply a single rule to their own lives. Winners never fall into that trap. They don't waste time debating theories because they're too busy executing. They don't argue about what works. They test what works. In the end, the world doesn't remember your opinions. It remembers your accomplishments. Nobody cares who wanted to win. They care who actually won. Action is the only language success understands. So stop explaining, stop predicting, stop talking about what you will do. Start doing it, start building it, start living it. Let your results speak smarter than your mouth ever could. The world listens to those who deliver, not to those who promise. People can argue with your ideas, criticize your plans, and doubt your intentions, but they cannot deny your achievements. You don't need to justify your dream, explain your grind, or prove your worth through debate. Results are the ultimate evidence. They silence every critic, every skeptic, every loud voice that tried to undermine you. You don't win respect by demanding it with words. You win respect by earning it with results. One result can shut down 10 arguments, and one breakthrough and can silence a crowd that never believed in you. Talking invites opinions, and opinions are distractions. The moment you open your mouth, people have something to judge, something to question, something to attack. When you keep quiet and take action, you stay untouchable. Nobody can sabotage what they cannot see. Nobody can stop a plan they don't know exists. Silence gives you protection. Results give you a loud victory. This is why smart people don't announce their goals. They announce their outcomes. They don't say, I will. They show, I did. And that difference separates winners from talkers forever. The world loves to debate potential, but respects achievement. Everyone has dreams. Very few have proof. Everyone has ideas. Very few have execution. Everyone can speak, but only a small percentage act consistently enough to create change. The ones who act don't need to shout about it. They don't need to convince anyone. While others argue about strategy, they're making progress. While others complain about luck, they're building skill. While others talk about what's possible, they're turning possibilities into realities. Results grant authority. Actions build credibility. And success makes your voice louder without you ever needing to raise it. You don't need to respond to people who doubt you when your success is the answer. You don't need to confront people who underestimate you when your achievements will force them to recalculate. You don't need to teach your value to anyone. When you win, they will learn on their own. You never need to explain the journey to those who aren't strong enough to walk it. Your results are the only explanation you will ever need. So focus less on being understood and more on being undeniable. Stop trying to prove your potential through conversation. Prove it through creation. Don't chase validation. Build something that validates you. Let your results be your voice. Let your achievements be your argument. Let your success be the final word. Because in the end, winners don't need permission to succeed. They show up, they deliver, and they let the world applaud after the work is done.